As I explained in previous video about the inertia. So on the basis of the inertia, earlier Galileo told when object is at rest, it will remain at rest. When the object is in motion, it will remain in motion. Means here you can observe the things on the table here. In this many objects are there. If I do not disturb, then all these objects are at the same position in 1 hour, 2 hour, 1 day, 1 month, 1 week. No one is going to disturb it. Means what? When the these objects are at rest, it will remain at rest. And suddenly suppose these objects are in motion. Means someone observed from the moon, from the satellite. So what it appears, all these objects are in motion. So when the object is at rest with respect to ourselves, these objects are in motion with respect to that moon. So in that situation, this object is at rest, it will remain at rest. This object is in motion, it will remain in motion. Until and unless we are not going to apply the force on it. Means to move it, to change its position, to make them in motion, we need to apply the unbalanced force. This is called the law of inertia, or this is called Newton's first law of motion. For example, here little disturbance is there, now this chalk comes into the motion. Can you see? Yes. Little disturbance, that forces, whatever forces are there, that forces are going to be disbalanced in this way, and then this chalk comes into the motion. Is it okay? So what is the meaning? If the object is at rest, it will remain at rest. It wants to be remains at rest. Object motion wants to be remains in motion, unless and until the external force is not applied on it. This is the Newton's first law, or the law of motion. First law of motion. Do you know this law was discovered in 16th century, and Newton wrote in his book Panacea. In that book, this law was written, and here in that book, object which is at rest remains at rest, object which are in motion remains in motion. So that book which was written by Sir Isaac Newton, that one is very much useful for us to bring the object in motion. So now here, if you want to bring the object in motion, means we need to apply the force. Or if the force is whatever is applied on the object, if it has to be unbalanced, then also the object comes into the motion. So the thing is, why force is required to bring the object in motion? Because force is going to overcome the inertia of the body, then only the object comes into the motion. On the basis of that, Newton gave, if the object comes into the motion, so how much movement is there? What will be the velocity? or how much force is required to gain the particular velocity in that object. So for that, Newton has provided one more law which is named by Newton's second law of motion. What he told, rate of change in momentum is directly proportional to the applied force. Means whatever force is applied on the object, accordingly the momentum is going to be changed. So more force is applied, change in momentum is more. Less force is applied, change in momentum is less. Means that what is the another aspect of this one? Whenever the change in momentum occurs, force can be applied. Whenever change in momentum occurs, force can be applied by that particular object. So here, whenever rate of what is the Newton statement of the Newton's second law? Rate of change in momentum is directly proportional to the applied force. So what here? Let the initial momentum is P1, final momentum is P2. So what is the change in momentum? Delta P is equals to P2 minus P1. So what is the mathematical representation of that statement? This one is force is directly proportional to rate of change. So rate of change means change in momentum divided by rate. I told means we have to divide by the time interval. So here if this much momentum changes in time delta t, so what can I say? What is the mathematical representation? This is delta p divided by delta t. In higher classes, this can also be written as this f is directly proportional to differentiation in p with respect to t. So here this is delta and p is what? Mass into velocity divided by delta t. So this f is directly proportional to m delta v by delta t. So this is f is directly proportional to m delta v by delta t, change in velocity with respect to time. That is what? Acceleration. So this is f is directly proportional to, and this proportionality sign can be converted into the equal sign by using constant. This a is known as the proportionality constant. And we have to put the value of f, m and a. R we take 1. So what we observe? K is equals to 1. So this is formula is force is equals to mass into acceleration. Force is equals to mass into acceleration. Similarly, by this also here again, this f is directly proportional to d by dt, and this is mv. So this is f is directly proportional to m dv by dt. So this one is f is equals to f is directly proportional to m into a, and then again the same one, f is equals to kma and k is equals to 1, force is equals to mass into acceleration. Thank you. Have a nice day.